Hey everybody. You having fun yet? All right. Welcome to the second award ceremony for the 2016 CEDA National Debate Tournament. I'm going to hand things over to Gabe really quickly, but some thank yous first. First, thanks to Gary Larson for running the tab room. I'm sure you all saw the pref numbers yesterday. They were fantastic, so let's give a big hand for Gary. I want to thank Lindsay Shook, who served as the CEDA Sexual Harassment Officer. Dan Stanfield, who served as our Accessibility Coordinator. ML Sandoz, who served as the Treasurer. And then the rest of my tab room staff: Gabe Murillo, Amber Kelsey, Scott Harris, Joe Patrice, Kathleen Rubino, and Nick Ryan. They made it very easy for me to be a host as opposed to running around, starting around, and stuff like that, and I really appreciate it. The other person I want to thank is Joe Schatz. This is my second time as CEDA president. Both times I hosted CEDA.
Movement in Binghamton exists mostly on the north side of Binghamton, which is the food desert that exists. There's no grocery stores in that area, and so they not only run a farm utilizing people from the north side of Binghamton, but they also create community gardens, community empowerment mechanisms, workshops, teaching people how to cook food that come from gardens that are fresh fruit and vegetables, and they're the only farm share program in this entire area that will accept food stamps and has a continual bank of food, so that way if people run out of food stamps and they want to get fresh food to their families, they're able to do that because they keep money and they keep extra things on staff in order to be able to make that happen. So far, we've raised almost $150 for them. In the lead is KCC with 1,332 points, followed by K-State with 1,105 points. JMU is at the absolute bottom, despite the CEDA president coming from JMU with negative 944. JCCC is making their run for being the least school-spirited with negative 625, and Kansas, after being in first place and then down in the negatives, is back up to being positive. We will continue the penny wars up until finals, and we will have them all set up right outside this conference room space starting tomorrow morning. And tomorrow morning is double point day, so all of your pennies are now double, which is really exciting. So thanks again for all of you coming. That's everything I've got to say, and I guess I will turn it back over to Michael Davis. All right, thank you.
All right, I apologize for disappointing. I am not Michael Davis. How's everyone doing? Woo! All right. We have gotten through 3 days of CEDA Nationals. We are down to our Sweet 16, and everything has gone absolutely awesome. So thank you all very much. Let's hear a round of applause. Before we begin our award ceremony tonight, I would like to give a special thanks to 2016 President Mike Davis for his work and time as the president of CEDA. This is a job that is very underappreciated. It includes things like getting constant questions from me, probably like 1 million in the last month. And this is also Mike's second term as president, which means that he knew what he was in for and still decided to be president again. That kind of dedication is really phenomenal for the organization. To show our appreciation, this year CEDA has made a donation to With Purpose, which is a nonprofit focusing on closing the funding gap for childhood cancer in honor of Mike Lee and Aaron Benson's son, Sam Lee, who passed away recently. So thank you very much, Mike, for your time as CEDA president. And I've got this for you. Thank you. All right, so we're going to start here I made a little bit of a mistake with copy pasting some stuff in the first awards ceremony, and we left off a few debate scholars. At first I tried to blame Kevin for this mistake, and then Kevin told everyone it was my fault, and unfortunately Kevin was right. So we have a couple national debate scholars with a GPA of 3.75 or higher that were not mentioned at our first ceremony. So I'm going to fix that now. I'm going to call a list of names. Please feel free to stand up when I call your name. And after the awards ceremony, we have your awards for you. So Daniel Saunders from Wichita State University. Jackie Scholes from Binghamton University. Catherine Shackelford from Weber State. Tatiana Rice from the University of Northern Iowa. Bennett Clifford from Wake Forest. William Katz from the University of Kansas. Chris Berzer from the University of Kansas. Alex Shaw from NYU. Brian Klarman from Emory. Jason Sigalos from Emory. Mary Markham from University of Wyoming. Marley Davis from Samford. Natalie Benny from Samford. Hannah Stafford from Rutgers. Quentin Levin from Fresno State. And Emma Thompson from Whitman. All right. Congratulations to our debate scholars again. What a phenomenal achievement to both have competitive success in the activity as well as maintaining such good scholarship at your colleges. Now we have 4 awards that we are going to give before we get to the competitive awards for this year. The first award that we are going to give is the CEDA Alumni Award. This award recognizes outstanding achievement, contribution, and service by alumni of a member school. To present this year's CEDA Alumni Award, we have a recording from Sarah Partlow Lafarge. I'm going to try to set it up. If you all can't hear it, I also have the text of it, and I'll just read it, but we'll see if this works.
Greetings, everyone.
Can you hear
I'm
that?
sorry I cannot be there to present the Outstanding Alumni Award to a person who is truly deserving of the honor. Desiree Odekirk was distinguished in her passion for helping others and the debate community. Desiree debated at the College of Eastern Utah and at Weber State University. I remember judging her at the now defunct Southern Utah University tournament, which she won, by the way. The thing that struck me about Desiree at that time was her unwavering sense of self and a larger-than-life debate persona. As I came to know Desi, I realized that it wasn't just a debate persona. She was larger than life. She always made others feel that they were the most important person in the room. She pursued all of her goals with absolute passion and dedication. In particular, I worked closely with her to plan the 2009 CEDA Nationals at Idaho State University. Desi was determined to make it the best CEDA National Tournament experience for the participants and the staff. She worked tirelessly to achieve this goal. She worked on everything from t-shirt design to staff training to room coordination and so much more. She did this without complaint while making those around her feel truly valued and important. At the time that we hosted CEDA together, Idaho State had never hosted a tournament of the size of the CEDA National Championship. Desiree's leadership was one of the most important parts of our success. She managed the event planning students and planned for contingencies. She trained the students to serve in all necessary tournament capacities and made responsibilities clear to them. M.L. Sandos noted how friendly the Idaho State students were. That was largely because they knew what to do and were motivated by Desi's leadership. Comments from her students included Chris Johnson, who said, "CEDA has been the chance of a lifetime, and given the opportunity to do it again, I would jump at the opportunity and try to be even more involved than I was in the 2008-2009 CEDA Nationals Finals held at Idaho State University." Another student, Donette Bullock, said, "I was amazed at the organizational skills and leadership that Desiree showed. I found this experience to be highly enlightening. Even if I had no understanding of debate itself, the event planning and execution were familiar and a great experience." Finally, Allie Smith said, "I do enjoy working toward a common objective with a group of people, especially where creativity is a key factor, hence the reason I loved working with Spuddy Buddies and Desiree." Desi went on to earn master's degrees from Idaho State University and Utah State University, and to coordinate the NDT at Weber State in 2013. As Kelly McDonald noted, Desiree demonstrated her communication skills as a debater, earned 2 master's degrees where she honed her professional skills and training, and then served clients and was a peer leader with the Utah State Office of Rehabilitation. Her communication and advocacy skills were daily tested as she helped residents of Utah with career, social, and behavioral needs. She was an advocate for her clients and staff and their work and interface with public offices, service providers, and other community resources. I cannot think of a better and more significant use of the important skills and training provided by collegiate debate than making an impact in the lives of persons in need on a day-in, day-out basis. Tragically, Desi passed away due to injuries suffered in a car accident in February 2016, but her impact on her family, the debate community, those she helped in her profession, her friends, and her acquaintances lives on. I am truly proud to say that I was able to know her and to learn from her passion for life and for helping others. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much to Sarah for submitting that. We'll be sending the award to Desiree's family so that they can celebrate our celebration of Desiree. I'll shortly just say about Desiree that she really, in just her actions, taught me what it means to be a good host and what it means to be a serving member of this community. And her passing is truly tragic for her family and for the debate community as a whole. So I'm very happy, in the most perverse kind of sense, that we're able to recognize her with this award. So thank you very much. The next award that we are going to give is the Baby Joe Award, or the Debater of the Year Award. The Baby Joe Award is meant to celebrate the best of the best in our community. The ideal candidate demonstrates competitive success and a commitment to represent the highest values of the community. This year we had an absolutely phenomenal slate of nominees for the Baby Joe Award. I was brought to tears reading documents and letters of support for each of the nominees. It's truly, truly amazing how excellent the students in this community are. This year, it was a very close vote from the awards committee, and to present this year's Baby Joe Award is Catherine Rubino.
Tonight, I'm honored to present the Baby Joe Outstanding Debater Award to one of the best debaters. I'm sorry, I'm going to cry a lot. Just get used to it. It's okay. I've got it. Barlow, you got it. Congratulations to the U.S. Military Academy. Debating for the Military Academy is difficult and nearly impossible to do on an elite level. You all know the intensity it takes to be nationally competitive. Now imagine also being tested on your physical fitness as well as your ability to keep your room clean. With days strictly regimented, there's no option to skip a class in order to finish cutting a file before a big tournament or sleeping in after you've gotten home late from one. Amidst that workload, Barlow is the single most successful debater USMA has ever seen. Barlow has always known how to get and give the most from debate. Boston College's Christy Webster Dunn mentioned how everyone in our region roots for him, even though he spent the first 2 years of his college debate career blasting a song from the Disney animated feature Mulan on a loop before every single debate round. And as Joel the Mule reminisces, he's always been that way. I met Michael for the first time at an after-school program organized by the Atlanta UDL. I was assigned to work with Michael and his classmates because I had recently graduated from the same school. Michael's debate coach warned me about this kid who she claimed reminded her of me. To be honest, those words made me more than a little apprehensive. I am sure that anyone who knew me as a youngster can understand why. I went in expecting to meet someone that was arrogant, loud, and generally abrasive. But when I walked into the room, I found a group of students huddled around someone I could hear but not see. Michael was all of 5 feet tall back then, but he spoke with the confidence and maturity of a seasoned debate coach. Now, don't get me wrong, the arguments he were making were pretty suspect, but that wasn't what mattered. He was still a novice himself, after all. I'm sharing this story with you because it demonstrates that Michael already understood something that takes most of us years to comprehend. Competitive success is great, but what matters most are the friendships we build and the investments we make in this community. As Barlow has matured in this activity, he has embraced the ethos of the People's Tournament and has come to understand that the success of one debate team, no matter how good they may become, is worth ignoring the younger divisions of debate. He has embraced that ethos and taken on the role of training and recruiting novices. As Joe Patrice notes, Barlow built a team that I'd been told wasn't possible. I'd learned that we were struggling to find women and other minorities on our team because the West Point demographics, determined by a frightening number of Southern politicians, didn't allow for a lot of diversity. Barlow blew that up, not because he changed Southern races, but because Barlow found the diversity of his team and that we never had, and frankly, now will never lose. He's responsible for making the Army team a place for people who don't necessarily feel that West Point is home, and that is so much more important to me. He does more than just cut cards or devise strategies. He became a mentor and support system for other cadets on the team, reaching out to younger African American cadets and letting them know that they are not alone at the academy. That is very obvious to everyone who interacts with him. As West Virginia coach Samantha Godby notes, it is clear when you judge a lot of novice debates, which I do and I love it, when older debaters influence the growth of the novices. If anyone has judged any Army novices of the last 2 years, it's clear that his influence is heavy. It's not just that he taught them what a link is or how to explain what an unflinching paradigmatic analysis is. He teaches them how to survive in the academy. And his partner Kwanzi Caston reflects, Michael Barlow is the second most influential person I've ever met in my life. Through his slight arrogance and insatiable need to win arguments, Barlow gave me the keys to the liberation of my mind and the strengthening of my soul. Barlow has led me in developing not only into a young adult passionate about my community and willing to risk myself to better everyone around me, but he has encouraged and supported my blossoming into an individual, confident in the things that I know and willing to take a stand for what is right even if it is not popular or correct. Barlow's advocacy and passion extend beyond the debate round. Fellow debater Will Oakley notes, it is no secret that the Army, and West Point in particular, are flawed institutions. West Point is a bastion of Confederate apologism and often an exemplar of institutional racism's continued existence in the United States. We have a barracks, a road, an entire housing area, and several prominently placed portraits that celebrate the memory of Robert E. Lee. Anonymous cadets on Yik Yak regularly denounce the Black Lives Matter movement and disparage individual black cadets, all the while claiming that racism is dead. Barlow has led the movement to start a conversation about these practices and advocate for minority cadets. Most notably, Barlow has led a movement to name the new barracks in honor of General Benjamin O. Davis, the fourth black graduate of West Point and the first black four-star general in American history. Without Barlow's leadership and advocacy for minority cadets, this never would have come to fruition. But this advocacy has come at a cost. Classmate Veronica Bryant notes that the intense scrutiny and disgusting racism he's been subject to as a result of his efforts. Fortunately for the underrepresented groups, Cadet Barlow has made a name for himself at the Academy defending minority groups' rights. He's actively involved in leading an investigation on the memorialization of Confederate leaders' flags and memorabilia. Unfortunately, Barlow receives intense criticism from naysayers and has been the target of racist tweets, yik yaks, and other forms of anonymous social media. Cadets have even gone so far as to suggest that Barlow should be lynched in order to silence him. Still, Barlow resists the urge to silently blend into the crowd and chooses to lend a voice to those that are silenced. Barlow is competitively successful, dedicated to teaching others, and has demonstrated the strength and fortitude to take a principled stand against injustice. It is for these reasons I am thrilled to present the Baby Joe Award to Michael Barlow.
All right. Before we move to the next award, something I forgot about is if you've won an award, please, after you get the award, go stage left to get your picture taken. All right. The next award is the Becky Gallentine Award. This award is named after Rebecca Gallentine and is designed to recognize an outstanding female debate coach in CEDA. The ideal candidate can demonstrate service to the program and the organization, community building, and competitive success. To present this year's award is Dr. Shanari Brinkley, Amber Kelsey, and Iggy. Ignacio Asner.
Okay, you just have to give us a second to pull it up because we were sitting next to the person who's receiving the award, so I couldn't get my laptop out and get my stuff all together. Okay. And then Catherine, really, you just didn't have to do that before we had to stamp it up and speak. And Amber and I promised that we.
Now not coming out.
I know. Like that's a lot to have to follow. But I think that it says a lot and means a lot that we are giving the Gallentine Award to Jillian Marty after following that speech from you, because I think a lot of what we have to say has to do with the kinds of students that are in our activity and how special they are. Can you all hear us? Okay. So I have known Jillian since she was a high schooler. For those of you who know my story, I went to Emory and I was an Atlanta Urban Debate Leaguer, which is how I ended up at Emory. And while Emory, you know, Atlanta, I guess is what you were talking about, Barlow. So I met Jilly when she was a youngster in the first generation of the New York Urban Debate League. And Emory traveled me a lot to go work with New York Urban Debate League students, and they would come to Emory for summer camp. So I got to watch Jilly when she was like 14, 15, and I've watched her grow since then. She became a college debater at a time when I felt so uncomfortable in our community that I chose to leave it and just focus on graduate school. And Jilly went and became a college debater, went on to become a graduate debate assistant. We both had gone to Alabama and been graduate debate assistants. And then she went on to start her PhD. And I found that out after I was done at Georgia getting my PhD. And I say these things about myself to say that part of what makes Jilly so special for me is that she taught me how important it is for us to reach back for those who are following on our path behind us. And she proved to me that all of the work that I had done to encourage Urban Debate League students, to bring students of color into this activity, that it was paying off and that she was going to do the same. And I think that's the most important thing that we can say about Jilly. It's not just her national success as a debate director, but for me, it's each one teach one. As a Black woman growing up in white America, you are taught in Black communities over and over again that if we do not all make it, then none of us have made it. And I have attempted to work for the entire time I've been here to instill that. And Jillian is one, I think of Jillian as somebody that came after me and is doing this so that others who come after her understand that it's a part of their responsibility. So as Black and brown debaters have risen to national prominence, it is important for us to remember that that kind of success is not possible without elders who mentor and support. Jillian has always reached back to pull up others, always remained committed to each one teach one, and a firm commitment to make debate a hospitable space for little Black and brown children that look like us. Look around this room. Its diversity is not random progress. It took hard work. It took committed teachers, and no one has been more committed than Jillian.
Yeah. I want to say that, you know, in my mind, you know, Jillian is an essential member of this debate community. And I was thinking about how to characterize the role that I think that she plays. And I think that, in a way, Jillian is a Sula of this debate community. And I mean, Jilly is a Sula of this debate community. And what I mean by that is, Jillian, you know, what comes off, I think, to so many people who probably need to reevaluate themselves is a certain kind of abrasiveness that is off-putting. I'm not trying to say that Jillian is not abrasive at times, but what I'm trying to say is that Jillian is here and speaking and saying the things that are hard to hear because she is making me better, us better. And that kind of role is a hard role to play. And it's a foundational role that makes community building in a different way that we didn't know was possible. I'm one of the people that, in a sense, Jillian pulled up, right? When I started my first year at the new school, I did not know shit about how to run a team. And you were at UMass Amherst at the time. And we didn't have hotels. Like, we didn't have basic things that we needed to debate, right? And Jillian, you know, Jillian made sure that it was possible for us to be out there, to work around things like budgets. Like, how's this with your own students? Like, organize that, you know, if you don't have the resources to be out here, I will get you out here one way or the other. And taught me what it means to use all of the resources at your disposal and to stretch those to make things happen that you didn't think that you could make happen. So she taught me so much about how to build. And I want to say that role that she plays, and I'm so glad that you're being recognized for all of your efforts. There's so many things that I think that we don't even think about because we get caught up in the rush of, you know, this tournament, that tournament. But, you know, Jillian is ahead of the game. Jillian is ahead of the game in terms of thinking about, what do I do with the resources that I have or the institutional support that I have or don't have to make this space the kind of space? How do I make the hard choices? You know, we're having this conversation, long ongoing conversation about racist MPJ practices, for instance. And, you know, it's one thing to constantly be telling everyone, hey, you have got to get that shit together. But Jillian runs a tournament, and it is the only tournament in the country where the director is going out of her way to make sure that we are hiring and recruiting Black and brown judges, making sure that they're comfortable and able to do that work, pays them for their labor, and values the gifts of their knowledge and their presence. that's an important and overlooked part of what we are here to do, that, she makes possible, that she's doing that. And, that's a tournament that is having, it has low participation, We need to be taking what Jillian shows us, that Jillian shows us what we can do with the resources that we have, that the choices that we choose are ethical choices, right? And we have to demonstrate that by also making ethical choices to support and validate that kind of work. It's extremely rare.
No, you don't have to pay nothing that's on there. You just
Okay, cool.
So thank you, Jilly.
This is kind of weird. There we go.
That was real petty.
Thank you. This is an opportunity to say more than thank you, Jill. I was the Baltimore kid who came with the temper, the one who's known for being louder than any of the words he could say, and you gave me every last one of them. All right, I remember times where you would tell me it's okay to be angry, to be passionate about things that were said, done, but then it's also okay to not leave your home at home when your home is here. It's okay when, I remember coming to debate tournaments, my lights off. I ain't got no food in the crib. And the thing that I'm wishing for is the meal money so me and my mans can eat. And Jill not only made that possible, tournament after tournament, but then made it okay not to eat fast food every time when spending that money. So then I didn't become, super weird with the GMOs and all of that. She cared, is what I'm trying to say. And for a kid who feel like his mom had gave him up, a kid who felt like he didn't have a family, a kid who felt like the strength came with the words that he had and people kept denying him. That woman, Jill, stood next to me. I remember when my partner would do all kinds of crazy things. Crazy nevertheless, and she still was accepting for who he was, and a lot of the things that he did, we all was like, yo, you wildin'. And she was like, okay, he was wildin', we won't deny that, and let's work past that. Right, and I just think about that. And you got to put this in a context. This is the same woman who helped foster the program when we were running Black Race. This is the same woman who helped sustain the Tulsa program when we lost whole entire budgets. When we go on to tournaments and they having kibbles and bits outside of our van door, and she telling me it's okay. If they want to see a dog, let's rip one off. Let's tear their head off with the kind of jaws that we have produced because we are tired of being hungry. And that kind of passion allows you to build a kind of armor to take a lot of the things that we do on a daily basis. And it didn't just translate to, how could I feed my house? Because she taught me how to budget bills, for real. But it then spills over into when the white student union is coming after me, who you think I'm calling? She telling me to keep calm. I remember sitting in her office with the jams on and she all right, they coming for you. What do they know that we don't know? And treating it like a straight debate argument. We all right, cool. And I'm going up for public speeches and she giving me the notes to be all right, pretend like it's cross-sex and flame them. So I stand here not just as, the man that I am today, the coach that I am today, the father I am today. I would say a lot of that, and I don't mean this to be because I got a mic in front of me or some cameras, but a lot of that wouldn't be possible without Jill, at all. Y'all see this face, y'all see me with the dashiki day and, smiling at you all. I remember it was days where I wanted to rip every smile off faces that I seen, and she said, don't forget, they stealing from you, so smile anyway. That's my spiel.
No, we should not read these texts. Come on, Jilly! Let's go hug her.
All right. The next award we have is the Brownley Award. The Brownley Award is given annually to a forensics educator who demonstrates outstanding achievement in scholarship, education, and service to CEDA. The award is named in honor of longtime coach and founding CEDA member Don Brownley. Presenting this year's Brownley Award is Joe Patrice.
All right. Let me get everything ready here. Okay, the first thing I was going to read is what Gabe just said, so I'm not going to read that. So for all those criteria, this recipient excels in all three areas. A director who founded a team that succeeds in all levels of competition, regularly places in the top 10 nationally in sweepstakes, an academic published in multiple subjects, and someone who has served CEDA in multiple capacities, hosting this tournament not once, but twice. There are two ways to go about presenting an award like this. The first is to do the slow play thing where you read little clips from all these letters and then people guess, who it is. You get to watch the person's face go oh, it's me. It's kind of fun. The other is to announce it off the top, and it's kind of a testament to the strength and specificity of the nominating letters that I'm gonna choose the latter because hiding the ball makes no sense after a couple of these. So the winner of this year's Don Brownley Award is Joe Schatz from Binghamton University. The other advantage of that option is you get 2 ovations, so you're welcome. We're gonna kick off. Former student and now coach all over the Northeast, basically, Rob Glass, who initiated this nomination, wrote, "I first met Joe when I took his debate class as an undergrad. In his first class, he offered extra credit to anyone who went to the opening tournament of the year, and I convinced my friend to go with me and took him up on his offer. I went to the tournament barely knowing the speech times and the names of the different arguments and not even knowing what cards were." I will jump in as me editorially and say I judged that kid's first debate, and it made not a lick of damn sense. It was thankfully helped by I won't name the squad, but the other squad responding with nanotech for no reason to a non-topical anything. So I saw missiles versus robots, and the topic had nothing to do with either. It was something of a mess. I'm happy to say that Rob has, he's still about the same. So anyway, let's move on. Back to Rob's letter. Joe didn't go with us on that trip, but after every round, he would call me and ask how I'd done, and ask me how other teams are doing, and to tell him the arguments they were having trouble with. After I won a couple of rounds, he even went out of his way to recruit me, promising that debate wouldn't take up too much of my time, and that I could surely balance it with my other life goals. Anyway, in elims, back is still Rob talking. In elims, I was talking to other debaters, real members of the team, and they expressed surprise that Joe Schatz seemed to know what was going on and even cut cards for them, cards that ended up winning the tournament. The team had been banned from communicating with him that weekend, but assistant coach Guy Risco had forgotten to tell the rando walk-ons. So that's why I was the only person picking up the phone when Joe would call. The reason why was that on that Friday was the day that Joe defended his dissertation and became Dr. Joe Schatz. And that Saturday was when his second child, Ezra, came into the world. And he, by all accounts, passed his defense with flying colors. I mean, by all accounts, he got it, so he must have passed it, right? Anyway, and is the absolute epitome of a loving father. This is who Joe is, someone who always reaches out to take on more and more without letting anything drop, and someone who always put the last person around him in front of himself. When Joe was about to graduate, he was able to convince the university administration that the team deserved institutional support, so they created a grad position so that he could stay on and coach the team. Over time, that grad student that he single-handedly recruited and created one of the largest teams in the country. He even won CEDA sweeps with that team that he got as a grad student. So moving on, also attractive and charming coach from the Northeast named Joe, wrote. It got me hearing about this award got me thinking about the kid that I judged back on the sanctions topic. Schatz was a novice then, traveling by car with his debate partner, who had a little high school experience. There was no coach, just a couple of guys trying to win some rounds. My students at NYU met up with them a lot in Northeast Open Division final rounds that year. I don't remember who won them all. But the point is that Schatz came into this activity with the quintessential love of the game attitude. There was no scholarship, no promise of travel to exciting locales like Carbondale, Illinois, or whatever debate people go, and frankly, very little promise that they'd win anything. He carried this attitude into his grad school years, turning the Binghamton team from a couple of kids in a car to a powerhouse. Binghamton's hordes of debaters helped the Northeast stay afloat when former pillars of the region, in terms of participation at all levels, defected en masse to Worlds. During the height of that movement, there were tournaments, and more importantly, for those of us focused on novice and JV divisions, there were those divisions that simply would not have made had it not been for Binghamton's participation. Mike Hall writes, in spite of budget pressure, Joe consistently travels multiple teams in each division and looks for opportunities to market his team to his administration. In my opinion, the debate community needs more directors who have Joe's focus on program building. I think it's appropriate that we recognize Joe's contributions to the debate community. Honestly, I can't imagine hosting a district tournament, CEDA Nationals, and the NDT in the space of 5 weeks. In years where he's not hosting 3 tournaments, he usually hosts at least 1. Those of us that host a tournament know that that's a draining experience. Joe is always a gracious host and provides excellent hospitality, even from the perspective of this meat eater. But who wants to hear from coaches? So many Binghamton debaters wrote in response, or former Binghamton debaters wrote in response to this nomination. I have not at all time to read all of them, so I'm going to give some quick highlights. Trevor Reddick writes of Joe's academic work. Joe's one of the most dedicated scholars that I know. He tirelessly encourages students, both undergrad and grad, to get involved with conferences and publications in both books and journals. As a scholar and activist himself, he has become a critical part of the Institute for Critical Animal Studies and helped host the 25th Annual Central New York Peace Studies Conference. Published on animal rights, media studies, film studies, critical classroom pedagogy, and many more. I've submitted works to academic conferences and had much success as a direct result of the practices and assistance that I got from Joe as an undergraduate at Binghamton. He helped introduce me to academic writing and the process of submitting, editing, and working on academic scholarship while giving me help with his thoughts and honing my arguments. Without his assistance, I would not have had the academic resume that I have as a first-year grad student, and it's helped me get beyond the curve. Former debater Anna Pinchuk writes, when I joined policy debate as a novice, with English as my second language, Joe was very welcoming, supportive, and attentive to my needs and experiences. He taught me how to make arguments and how to speed read. But most importantly, he has taught me how to be myself in debate rounds and not be afraid of making arguments that I was passionate about. I felt that my background and experiences would be welcomed and appreciated by Joe, which allowed me to grow as a debater in many ways that I could not have imagined. Joe cares deeply about important social issues and educates students to become better activists for social justice causes. After I graduated from Binghamton and moved to Ukraine, I had the skills and, more importantly, the belief in myself to continue being active in my community. Joe continued following my career and supported my initiatives for peace action and volunteering in Ukraine. Finally, now I'm going to go with Andrea Groh. She writes, Joe's a charismatic teacher, a formidable advocate for what he believes in, and a true pain in the ass. But more importantly, Joe is an incredible motivator. From the first day of my class to my last debate at CEDA my senior year, Joe pushed me. The push was always gentle but firm. You can do this. You need to do this to prove it to yourself. Whether it was pre-round prep in a stairwell. Oh yeah, hiding in the stairwell. God, you were awful about that. Or a practice debate in the office, Joe was always there to push me beyond my comfort zone and onto something better. Break a new aliens F in finals, also something awful that you did. Anyway, sure, why not? Go for human extinction good and the 2NR, yeah, that makes sense. Joe taught me to see all possible sides of the argument and be prepared for everything. To this day, my profession demands the very same skills Joe honed in me over 10 years ago. When I am inevitably asked the question, every defense attorney gets asked from time to time, how do you argue for something when you personally don't believe in it? I just remind them, this isn't my first rodeo. I'm very happy to give this award to Joe Schatz.
All right, before we move on to the competitive awards, I just want to say very quickly how amazing the process of chairing the awards committee is. In a little over 24 hours, I'm going to take over as president of CEDA, and that's terrifying. I appreciate it. It's a terrifying endeavor. It's a lot of responsibility, but one thing that constantly reminds me that it's worth all of the work is being reminded of how amazing the students, educators, and alumni of our activity are. So I wanted to say that I love you all and thank you so much for everything that you do. All right, let's move on to the competitive awards. The first are the sweepstakes awards, and we have President Mike Davis announcing those.
All right, we can't give out a bunch of these tonight because there's a bunch of debates tomorrow. So we cannot give out a single award in the top 10 because every position is still up for grabs. We also can't give out any awards in the Northeast or the Mid-America. Some awards we can give out. First in the East Central, in third place, Indiana. I'm going to use the German rule. You can't clap for them if they're not here. Second, Wayne State. And first is Michigan State. None of them are here, sorry. Oh yeah, there's only trophies for the first place, applause for second and third. In the Mid-Atlantic, second is Pittsburgh, and first is Mary Washington. They're not here either. Next is the North Central, third is Minnesota, second is Iowa. Gabe is here, so you can clap. And first is Northwestern. Something we can all agree on. All right, next is the Pacific. In third place, CSU Fullerton. In second place, Southern California. And in first place, UNLV. Now the South Central. In third place, North Texas. In second place, Baylor. And in first place, University of Texas. All right, now the Southeast. In third place, Georgia. Second place, Kentucky. First place, Wake Forest. All right, in the West, we cannot give out third place yet, but we can give out second place to the University of Washington. And first place to Weber State. We also give out 5 community college awards. In fifth place, and we have trophies for all 5. In fifth place, Long Beach City College. In fourth place, City College of San Francisco. In third place, Johnson County Community College. In second place, Southwestern. And in first place, Kansas City, Kansas Community College. The next award is the Bradley Garrison Newcomer Award. Something I want to point out, we have 9 new programs or emerging programs. That means they've started in the last 3 years who are CEDA members now, so that's the future. Let's get more of them. This year's winner is Illinois College. The final sweepstakes award is the Founders Trophy. The Founders Trophy goes to the school that has accumulated the most total CEDA points in the history of their program. And then once you win the award, you go back down to the bottom. This year's winner is Towson State University. And that's a good transition, because now Amber will come up and tell you the results of the debates from today.
Okay. Congratulations to our awesome Navi in the semifinalists. We have Cornell KS, that's Sneha Kabaria, and Shara Safer. Woo! Our second novice semifinalist is Vermont BH, Kirsten Britton, and Edel Hassan. Our second place winner of CEDA in the novice division is Southwestern BC, Francesca Baird, and Aransta Callas. And our novice champion is Nevada, Las Vegas, OW, Sandra O'Reilly, and Brian Warren. All right. In the open division, our double octa finalists are in alphabetical order. Oh, my bad. Our triple octa finalists are in alphabetical order. Arizona State CR, Lizzie Canary, and Kaylin Revenue. Florida CS, Evan Cartagena, and Kate Scalaro. That says true.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna.
Error malfunction.
I think he just flipped them. This should be triples, this should be doubles.
Just kidding, y'all. All right. Our triple octa finalists are Arizona State RQ, Brenna Ram and Alana Quint. Central Oklahoma SC, Brock Spencer and Chris Cohen. Cornell KS, Gabriella Knight and Samira Sala. George Mason, MT, Todd Money, and Michelle Thomas. And Oklahoma PW, Katie Pruitt and Madison Whitman. Congratulations, y'all. Now we're on to our double octa finalists. Is this a thing? Are we doing this?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
All right, our double octa finalists are Arizona State CR, Lizzie Canary and Kaylin Revenue. Florida CS, Evan Cartagena and Kate Scalaro. James Madison LW, Nick Lepp and Ryan Warner. Johnson County Community OS, Casey Owen and Arik Singleton. Kansas CB, Chris Carey and Amit Butler. Kansas RK, Dylan Robb and Will Katz. Nevada, Las Vegas, KB, Roman Kazos and Sarah Beth Brooks. Also, Nevada, Las Vegas, OA, Christian Agata and Reese Aguilar. Oklahoma PS, Brittany Klang and Natasha Sabina. Also from Oklahoma, Oklahoma SW, Daniel Schexnader and Rob Wad. and also Oklahoma SZ, Jacob Smith and Lawrence Zhao. Puget Sound, QB, Catherine Quierlo and Austin Brittenham. Rutgers Newark, WM, Chaz Weich, and Andres Moncla. Sanford BD, Natalie Benny, and Marley Davis. Wake Forest CL, Mac Cronin, and Andrew Lopez. And last but not least, Weber State TG, Misty Tippett, and Kenzie Gaither. And now I think Nick Ryan is supposed to do a thing.
I get the pleasure of announcing speaker awards. We have awards for the top 20. In 20th from Kansas State, June Ramirez. In 19th from Puget Sound, Austin Brittenham. In 18th from Long Beach City, Maria Zapata. In 17th from Kansas State, Alonzo Pina. In 16th from San Francisco State, Aliyah Zahid. In 15th from the University of Vermont, Khalil Lee. In 14th from James Madison, Nick Lepp. In 13th from Long Beach City, Piper Diaz. In 12th, from Rutgers, Hannah Stafford. In 11th, from Binghamton, is Dhruv Segal. In 10th place, from UC Berkeley, John Spurlock. In 9th place, from Rutgers, Devon Murphy. In 8th place, from UNLV, Sarah Beth Brooks. In 7th place, from JCCC, Eric Singleton. In 6th place, from Liberty University, Vita Cherry. In 5th place, from Rutgers, Nicole Nave.
She said, oh, I can get a picture?
In 4th place, from Vermont, Taylor Bra. In 3rd place, from the United States Military Academy, Michael Barlow. In 2nd place, from UMKC, Anthony Joseph. And the top speaker at this year's CEDA National Tournament, from UMKC, Corey Fisher. And I'll turn it back over to Amber to announce this year's Sweet 16.
All right, and now we're going to announce the Sweet 16. When you're called, please go stand over there so that we can get all of you together and take a bomb-ass picture. All right. In the top 16, we have George Mason, DM, Colin Daly, and Luke Melton. Stanford AS, Julia Allison, and Sunhee Simon. San Francisco State MS, Janelle Murray, and Aaliyah Shaheed. UC Berkeley SI, John Spurlock, and Leonard Irving Thomas. Kansas State PR, June Ramirez and Alonzo Pina. Also Kansas State KS, Kyle Klukas and Lucia Scott. Central Oklahoma HS, Derek Hillgloss and Jasmine Stidham. Wyoming MM, Mary Markham and Hunter McFarland. Liberty CB, Vita Cheery and Timothy Byram. Long Beach City, ZD, Maria Zapata, and Piper Diaz. Vermont BL, Taylor Brow, and Khalil Lee. Rutgers and Newark MN, Devon Murphy, and Nicole May. Rutgers Newark HS, Kayvon Houghton, and Hannah Stafford. United States Military Academy, BC, Michael Barlow and Quanzel Caston. University of Missouri, Kansas City, FJ, Corey Fisher, and Anthony Joseph. All right, congratulations all of you. I look forward to watching you in the Hunger Games tomorrow. Good luck.
All right, let's hear it for the top 16. All right. Did we miss University of Kansas HW? Yes, we did. Jacob Hegna and Henry Walter, please. All right, let's get them a minute to figure out how to get a picture of everybody. All right. We are coming to the end of the award ceremony. A couple of things before we head out. The first is that at our first award ceremony, we had all novices and people who started as novices stand up and get recognition. Tonight, I'd like everybody who is a senior to stand up, please. Come on, come on. Let's hear it for our seniors, everybody. All right. A couple quick administrative things and then we'll be done. First, if you want a box for your award, come up and see us. We've got like 100 of them back there for easier travel. Second, strike cards will be released at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning in the lobby. Those strike cards are due at 7:15 in the morning. Yeah. Prep time, 45 minutes of prep. Yep. So be sure to be there on time tomorrow morning so you can get your preferred strikes on strike cards. The student party tonight starts next door. I'm told there's a dance floor and a DJ, so anything can happen. The President's Party, which is 21 plus, is in zone 225 downstairs, starting right meow. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.